All right, so we're going to begin our Pretty Petals square. Here I have my H 5mm hook. This is a clover hook, and some yellow acrylic that is a 4-weight that I already had in my stash. And we're going to follow the pattern exactly as it's written, starting with our setup round. In our setup round, we make our slip knot, and then we need to chain 4, and slip stitch it to create a circle. This is the circle that we will work into for the center, and it's supposed to be pretty small. You can also use a magic circle here, but I know some people don't like them, and the pattern just says to do our chain, so that's what we're going to do. All right, with our setup done, we're going to start round 1, and to do round 1, we're going to start with a chain 3. Okay, now I'm going to double crochet 2 different stitches, double crochet 2 without finishing them, because the petals in this square are done with sets of double crochet 3 together. But when we're starting with a chain at the beginning of a row, we're going to use this chain as part of our petal, and so we only do 2. So I'm going to start a double crochet. Okay, but I'm not going to yarn over and finish it. Instead, I'm going to start another one. And with both of them done, I'm going to yarn over and finish all of this together. That's our very first petal. Now we are going to chain 4. This becomes our first corner in our first round, and now we're going to double crochet 3 together. So again, we start a double crochet about halfway and we do not finish it. We start another one and do not finish it. And we start a third. And then we yarn over and finish all 3 of them together. So that's a double crochet 3 together, and that's how most of the petals are done. Now we're going to repeat our chain of 4 and our double crochet 3 together. Okay, that gives us our second side. Now technically, when I close this, that is the end of the double crochet 3 together. So if you do this before your chain of 4, that is technically correct, but I did not do that over here, and it shouldn't make too big of a difference. It shouldn't throw you off too much. So I went ahead and finished it, and now I'm going to do my next chain 4. Okay, because we're going to repeat that one more time. Chain 4, double crochet 3 together to give us our last side. Close it. All right, now we've got our 4 petals done for our first round. I'm going to chain 4. And slip stitch it into the top of our first petal to finish off the round. Okay, that's our very first round with our chains becoming our corners. Now we get to move on to round 2. For round 2, we start off with a chain of 6. We're going to start with a double crochet of 3 in the corner, and then chaining 4 to create our new corner, and double crocheting 3 together again. Okay. There we go. That creates our new corner. Now we are going to double crochet 3, and we're going to double crochet into the top of our cluster, or double crochet together, 3 double crochets together, I mean, from round 1, just like this. Okay? Now we're going to chain 3 again, so we have a chain 3 of on both sides of our double crochet. And now we're going to repeat our corner pattern. Again, putting 4 chains in our new corners, and 2 petals in each corner. Okay. Now we double crochet 3, and I'm going to go into the top of this petal. And then chain 3. Chain 3, going into the top of this petal on this side. Okay, and we're almost there. Now we're going to chain 3, do our last corner with the 2 petals and 4 chains in between, and then we will chain 3 and attach it here in the middle of our chain 6, or the top, however you want to look at it. It's going to create half of this chain to become what looks like a double crochet, where we have double crochets everywhere else. Yep, there we go, you can see that one. So now chain 3. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Okay, chain 3. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and put it in the top here. Okay, so that is the end of round 2. Now for round 3, we are putting single crochet stitches around the entire edge of our square, except for in the very corners we will still be doing some chains. This is to give it some structure where our petal layers make the square a little bit floppy. The 2 rounds of the square where we do solid stitches, single crochet here and then half double crochet in the end. These give it some structure. So I'm going to start by chaining 2. We're going to single crochet 2 into this chain space. Then we're going to single crochet into the top of our petal. Now we're in the corner and we're going to single crochet twice. And then chain 3. Chain 3 is going to give us a nice pointy corner, and then we're going to single crochet 2 again into the same corner. Okay? Now going around the entire round, we're going to put single crochets in the top of our petals and the tops of our double crochet stitches that are alone. And in all of these chain spaces, we're going to put 2 single crochet stitches. And then in the corners, we're going to do what I just did here, which is to put 2 single crochets, chain 3, and then put 2 single crochets again. All right, let's see where we're at. We're making our way around. All right, let's keep going. It doesn't matter exactly how you work a stitch into the top of the double crochet, as long as you insert your hook in there somewhere. But I do think that right here, where you join the 3 double crochet together, that's the best place to put it in, those clusters. And we're almost to the end. Our starting chain comes right out of a, well, it comes out of another chain, but it counts as a double crochet stitch in the way that our whole pattern works together. So I'm just going to single crochet 2 here again and slip stitch into the top of this. Okay, and that completes our round 3. If your gauge is similar to mine, or if you have adjusted to meet my gauge, then as it's written in the pattern, then this square as it is right now should measure 4 inches. I'll be right back to start round 4 with you, and we'll continue on to make our 9-inch version. All right, so we've zoomed out and adjusted some so you can see the entire square a bit better now. I'll still be bringing it closer so you can see the individual stitches, hopefully really well. But here we're going to start continuing the pattern to make the 9-inch version of this square. This just starts where the 4-inch version leaves off. So if you wanted to only make 4-inch squares, you could cut your yarn here and bind it off and weave in your ends. You would be all done. But for the larger version, we're going to continue now with round 4. Round 4 starts with a chain again, a chain of 3. All right, now in the same stitch, just like right here at the bottom, we're going to do the same thing we did a few rounds ago. And we are going to double crochet 2 without finishing them. And then finish them all together as if we were doing a double crochet 3 together. Okay? Just like that. Now we are going to chain 3. And we're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and double crochet. It should turn out that your double crochet is pretty much above this petal. That's how that should work out. Okay, now we're going to chain 3 again. And work a double crochet 3 together into our corner. Just like that. And just like we've done previously, we're going to chain 4 and double crochet 3 together again into the same corner. Okay, now this is where the repeat is written for this round. We're going to start by chaining 3. Skipping 2 stitches. 1, 2, we're going to double crochet. We're going to chain 3 stitches and double crochet 3 together after we skip 2 right here. So basically we're trying to put double crochet stitches above our petals and new petals above our double crochet stitches, and we're doing chains of 3 in between each one. So 1, 2, 3, skip 2 more stitches and put a new petal right here. All right, double crochet 3 again, and skipping 2 stitches, or just putting a double crochet stitch pretty much above our petal. Okay, then we're going to chain 3 and start our corner. With a double crochet 3 together, and then chain 4, and then another double crochet 3 together. Okay, so that's the pattern repeat that we're going to repeat a few more times to make most of the rest of this round, starting from one corner to finishing the next corner. We just have chains of 3 that separate our double crochets and our petals, and they alternate, so that in this round you have a petal, which is a double crochet 3 together in the middle, and then 2 double crochet stitches on either side, and they line up so that, again, the double crochet stitches are above the petals from round 2, and the single petal in the middle should be above your double crochet from round 2, more or less. And then yeah, so that repeat again starts right here and ends right here. So we're going to repeat it 2 more times, and then we'll just have a little bit left to finish up what we've done. All right, so I've completed the repeats. All that's left now is to chain 3 from the end of this corner and put a double crochet right about here. So we skip 2 stitches, and then we chain 3 one final time, and we're going to slip stitch it into the top of this petal, and that finishes round 4. All right. It's looking very pretty so far. So now we get to move on to round 5. Round 5 starts out with a chain of 6 again, so that the chain of 6 acts as a double crochet stitch that comes out from right here, and then it makes our chain space, and we are going to do another petal pattern starting right about here. Okay, so we've got our chain of 6, and for row number 5, things get switched up a little bit, and we go ahead and put 2 petals together into our sides. So if you'll look at the whole square again, each side of our square now has 2 double crochet stitches and a petal in the middle before we get to the corners. And so each side is going to have a double crochet stitch that comes out of the top of this middle petal. But then for the tops of these double crochets, we're going to do something a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a double crochet 3 together into the top, and I like to work into the top of the double crochets for this. And I believe that's how the pattern is written, is to work into the top of it. So double crochet 3 together. That's pretty much in line with what we've done so far, but now we're going to chain 3. And we're going to put another double crochet 3 together in the same place. So it's going to kind of stretch out this part a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so that's what we're doing in the tops of these double crochets. 2 petals with a chain 3 in between. So now at this point, I'm going to chain 3 and then do the corners in the exact same way that we've been doing them, except for our single crochet row. So the corner is also going to have, chain our 3 there, the corner is also going to have a petal, a double crochet 3 together right here, and then chain 4. And then another double crochet 3 together. This is exactly the same as we've been doing things. Okay. So there we go. It ends up almost looking like we have the same pattern as the corner right here. But that's how we get it started. Now we are starting what is technically written as the repeat, because it's going to go again from the end of this corner to the end of the next corner. So to do that, we are going to chain 3. And we don't do anything in the top of this petal. That is another thing that's different. We don't work into the top of this at all. Instead, we're going to go right to here because we have this chain 3 in between these petals. So we double crochet 3 together and work right here. That's our first one. And then we chain 3. And we're going to double crochet 3 together again right here in the same one. All right. Now we're going to chain 3 and double crochet into the top of this petal. Chain 3 again, and then do our 2 petals again right here, separated by another chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. So I'm just about done with this side. Now I'm going to chain 3 and go into my corner really quickly, and we'll see how this whole repeat turned out. One, 2, 3, 4 here, since it's the corner. There we go. Okay, so here's what you should have. And you can see how our 2 petal clusters lined up or were worked into the top of here. So we make sure that they line up. And then the corners are done the same. So that sequence, that repeat again, is going to be repeated twice until we end up here, and then we'll only have a little bit left. We'll do another set of 2 petals here, chain 3, and slip stitch it. So I'll go ahead and completely finish this round and be back to do our very last round, which is round 6. Okay, so all done with round 5 now, and you can see all of these chain spaces and having 2 petals here with 3 more chains in between them. It makes the edge very lacy and kind of scalloped looking in this round, which would be great for a lot of things. But for the final round of this pattern, the way it's written, we're going to create some structure again, kind of like we did in round 3, using half double crochet stitches. So after all of these rounds of repeats and petals, this round is very, very simple. We're going to chain 2, and around the entire edge of this, we are going to half double crochet 3 into each chain space. Just like that. 1, 2, and 3. And then in this chain space again, 1, 2, and 3. We really don't even need to worry about working into the tops of the petals at all. In the corners, we're going to half double crochet 3, and then chain 3, and then half double crochet 3 again. So it's still very, very easy. I'll go ahead and get through one corner here. 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. In the corner, we chain 3, and then do 3 more. Okay, and then we would move on to this chain space. So that's it. Very simply, that's how you work around the entire round, and it really creates a nice straight edge and brings structure back into everything. So I'm going to finish the round on this one, come back and show you, because after you half double crochet 3 into right here, after getting all the way around, you just slip stitch into the top of your first chain, and we're all done with our 9-inch version. So I'll be back with that in just a moment. All right, so here we are now. This is our 9-inch version totally completed. I went ahead and cut my yarn, and you can simply bind this off and weave in your ends, and that's the entire Pretty Petals pattern. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'd love to see pictures or hear about the projects that you want to make with this square, and thank you for following along with me.